thanks for tuning in. I'm Mike Michael, and Laura's off today. So I have filling in Katie Scullin. She's my special guest host.
Hello.
And some of you might know her. She sings. She won the Triple M, the 105.5 for her song
Pretty Lady.
Pretty Lady. Yeah, and if you'd like to see more of her, go to katiescullin.com. But she's not the big story today. Today we have Casey Davenport on from Best Buds. And we're going to talk to him and talk about what he does, how long he's been in business, and see what all landscaping needs they provide and give him a call. So, Casey, how are you doing today?
Doing really well. Thanks for having me.
No problem. I was wondering, how long has your company been in business?
So,
Or how did it start?
we've been in business about 15 years now,
Right?
legally. And I say legally because
W-2s.
we started out, yes, we started out as kids cutting grass in the neighborhood for people, neighbors,
Right.
Oh, cool.
friends who went on vacation. So
Do you
they'd
think
call.
they pay better in Maple Bluff?
You know, that's up in the air. Jury's still out on that one. We're still
Right.
deciding.
Well, they're tight because they want to keep their big house.
Everybody wants to keep that money, you know what I mean? Rich and poor alike. So
Well,
yeah.
the rich get richer because they keep their money. But anyway, back to you. How did your business start?
So we just started out as kids cutting grass in the neighborhood, and
So you and who?
me and two younger brothers. My
Oh, okay.
brothers are Zachariah and Travis Davenport.
Oh,
And so when we were old enough to start pushing the lawnmower, my dad had us out there and pushing the lawnmower. So
Right.
so we started there, and our neighbors would see us doing stuff like that, and would say, "I'm going on vacation. Can you come over and cut my grass?" So if we were making $12 cutting some grass, we thought we were balling. You know, we thought
Right.
we thought we were doing pretty good, and so we've grown this thing over the last 15 years into a 32 truck operation.
Oh, wow. Are
Wow.
you still working with both brothers?
Yep, both brothers are still owners as well, owners and partners. And so now we've got my older sister as our full-time office manager.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, Dad helps out at the greenhouse and the whole thing. So it's become quite the family affair.
Wonderful.
well, and I know, like, when I called and I was asking, if somebody from your company would like to come on, your sister, like, just booked it.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
like, she didn't
she's
even
a
have to
rock
ask
star.
you.
She's a
Yeah,
rock
she's
star.
like, I'll just take care of it. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. I'll tell him where he has to go.
He'll be there.
As of a few years ago, I was answering all those phone calls on my hip. Between me and my brother, we were taking everything, and so Bridget's helped out a ton. Yeah, she takes
takes a
over
lot.
60 phone calls a day.
Well, and
Wow.
60% of the
in
proceeds.
that office. Yeah, she's fantastic. Yeah, you got to deal with her firsthand.
It's a
Right.
big problem to have, though. to
Yeah.
No,
getting
she's
60 phone
very
calls a
nice,
day.
very sweet.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
problem to have, right?
Right.
But not if I'm the one answering the phone.
Right.
As long as Bridget's taking care of it,
Right.
great problem.
She's probably doing a great job, too.
But yeah, we started out just as kids, like I was saying, about my senior year of high school. We just decided we were cutting too many lawns. And we were still trying to play soccer, hockey, and tennis after school.
Wow.
And daylight runs out fast. So we had to get bigger lawnmowers and a couple of trucks, and
Right.
so we did that. And it's been all uphill from there, I guess they say, right?
So did you save all your money from when you were a kid?
No,
Or
I don't have
did
any
you
of
have
that
an
money
investor?
left. Don't have any of that money left. Isn't that sad?
Like a child star.
You didn't save
Yeah.
like the
It's
first
all
dollar
gone.
bill?
Just so sad. I don't even have the first dollar. What kind of mom doesn't let their son save the first dollar, right? I mean,
Just
Yeah.
hang it on the
they
ceiling.
encourage us to spend them. Spend them. You know?
Go buy
Honestly.
candy now. Pitch in for
Yeah.
groceries.
Yeah. So, but it's been a fun venture for sure. Wouldn't trade
Right.
it. Long road, but wouldn't trade it.
Right.
Well, yeah, definitely. Did you do like any continuing education, like horticulture classes or anything like that?
No.
Or just pretty much like hands-on? Or
Yeah, all hands-on. We've learned everything hands-on. I started going to school at the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Right.
Wanted to be a Badger in the worst way, right? Got in there and got a 1.0 my first semester.
Yeah,
I
that's
wasn't
not
sure if I
bad.
was going to go for business or if I was going to go for landscape architecture, horticulture, stuff like that.
With a 1.0.
Right, yeah. Good luck getting into any of
Yeah.
those schools with a 1.0 your first semester.
Any program.
It was just bad. So
Right.
I ended up dropping out of the university after 3 semesters, and that was all she wrote. I
Right.
never looked back. I mean,
School's not for everybody, though, and sometimes just learning on the job is definitely the way to do it.
It's
you
been
you
our-
kind of learn yourself and
yeah,
what you're capable of, and
that's exactly it.
sounds like it's going awesome.
Praise the Lord. It's been going really well, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know when I called the other day, I was wondering what was going on because you said you had to let the fleet out. I'm like, what do you keep them under lock and key? Like I had to open the gates and let the fleet out, and I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, that's why I missed our appointment last week. I apologize
Your
again.
employees are not late.
Yeah, no,
they stay there.
They're Johnny on the spot. They're right there every morning. I show up and they're ready to go. No, what happens is, I show up every morning. I'm up till 2 in the morning getting ready for tomorrow. I show up in the morning and get everybody their contracts and where they're going today and who they need to talk to, and then they buzz out the gates and in all these blue trucks. So.
Well, I guess more like on the serious side of it, do you like do you use like any computer software, or do you draw up diagrams of like where you're going to put your perennials or spot flower with the annuals, or?
Most of the time we don't. I guess that's where I probably should have finished school, right? I mean, this is something that's hard to learn, right, if I don't finish school. So no, but the funny part is that we don't do a lot of these large scale projects where somebody wants to see a $1,000 drawing.
Right.
I do have a friend who will do that for them if they choose, who did finish school at the University of Wisconsin and has worked for us for 7 years. But most of our clients aren't looking for that. They're looking for a very obvious, very simple paver patio and fire pit.
Right.
Maybe some stairs going down to the lake, some tearing out all this old junk here along the front of the house and planting something new. We can talk about that like this, and then get on the same page mentally and then install that for them without all the fancy computer software and all that kind of stuff. So
right.
we
Well,
can
yeah, I
save
mean, you don't
everybody
need
time and
computer
money.
software to do that. I mean, before they didn't even have computers.
Yeah.
And I think most people don't really want like an Oprah Gardens at their house.
Right. Most people don't want to maintain it.
Right.
You know, when you're out singing all day on the road, like Katie, or when you're on TV all day and all night. I mean, who's got time to come home and weed afterwards?
day.
You know what I mean? So that's where we find our niche.
Right.
Is people can't do it or don't want to do it. They got more important stuff.
Yeah,
More
you'd
fun stuff.
Watering and
Yeah, who wants to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come home and get eaten alive by mosquitoes? You want to sign up? Huh? We're hiring.
Are you
Katie.
hiring?
Yeah.
We're hiring.
Yeah.
You could be our water girl.
in my spare
out there.
time.
I might have some spare time to do that.
Like the Amish, watering tobacco.
I hope you don't have any spare time. I hope your summer's slammed full.
I am slammed full, yeah.
That's awesome. What a blessing.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, tonight, where are you, in Delafield?
Yep, I will be singing in Delafield, and then right after this I run to,
Oneida?
Oneida, Bingo and Casino, Green Bay.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So your whole weekend's bam, right
It
there.
is, bam, yep.
Yeah.
Busy.
Yeah,
Good-
do you
good
ever
for
get
you.
up to Green Lake?
Green Lake. I've been there one time. I stayed in a hotel that was halfway underground and musty, moldy, mildewy, and I swore I'd never go back to Green Lake. How's
Right.
that?
You're like,
Are you
I'd rather go
primarily
to
based in Madison, or do you travel outside?
We do all of the Madison area,
Okay.
and we'll go from Verona, Mount Horeb, back through Middleton to DeForest, some Prairie, Wanakee. So we started out in the Maple Bluff area on the north side of Madison, because that's where we grew up and it's where we could drag our mowers on our bicycles, right? So this is our home
Right.
base,
Right.
and where most of our clients still are. But yeah, we'll do everything in the Madison area.
Making something out of nothing. That's awesome. You
Yeah,
know,
I
that's
guess
the way to
I
do
guess
it.
so.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord, the
Yeah.
phone keeps ringing. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's very
very
great.
thankful.
I think it must be nice, like, to drive through your neighborhood, because you still, would you say you still live in the family home?
Still living in the same house I grew up in. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
No, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, my parents were fantastic. They let us live at home. I mean,
Right.
until I was 25, 26 years old, and I think they
So
woke
last
up.
year,
Yeah, I'm 34 now.
I just moved out.
I'm 34. And what happened was, it's a funny story, because my brothers and I all lived at home still, and my sister was the only venturer. You know, she was out and about, and
Right.
so one day I think my parents woke up and looked at each other and were like, I don't think the boys are leaving. And
Get outta here.
so they just said, gosh dang, there's a house for sale over here. I think we're gonna move. And so our parents moved out.
Right.
Yeah, they
How
left
funny
and
is
I
that?
was like, where'd Mom and Dad go? They live down the street now.
Right.
So we kind of did it backwards
Now
from
you're
everybody
empty
else.
nesters.
Well, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Do you
we-
still sleep in the
Mom
same
and Dad-
bedroom?
I was so, do we?
Do you?
I can't answer that. Is this gonna be on TV? I can't answer that question.
Is it going to be on TV? Yeah.
I
We're
can't
live.
answer that question. Do we
It's still the same. Like with
Oh,
your high school
gosh.
trophies and tennis racket, still in the
I
corner.
plead the fifth, yeah. I plead the fifth.
So, when I was talking to you, I think a lot of people have the misconception that doing landscaping takes like 2-3 weeks, but you get it done in a day, right?
Most of our projects, yeah. I mean, again, we don't specialize in golf courses and
Right.
and things. I mean, we can come into most people's ordinary size yard and redo their entire backyard to some degree. It depends on what they want.
Right.
Patios, walls, stuff like that.
Do you lay sod and all that business too?
Lay sod and all that. Most of the time, it's going to take under a week for sure. Most projects we can do within a day or two, you know.
Right.
It depends really, again, the extent of what you're looking for. But you throw a patio at us, then you're adding a day there.
Yeah, every project's different.
Yep. Every
So-
project is different, custom.
Do you do more stone patios? Like, what is that, limestone or?
Yeah, I mean,
Slate
we
or-
we do a lot of natural stone. I prefer not to because it's incredibly difficult doing natural stone.
Right.
It's just nothing's even about it. Nothing's cut. Nothing's perfect.
No.
So we really prefer to do a concrete stone that looks natural.
Right. Because it's
then-
flat on the bottom.
And we can work with that.
Right.
And it makes
Right,
us look
it's
better.
safer too.
It's
you know?
safer for everybody.
Yeah.
My reputation included.
Just giving away all these secrets.
Natural stone is tricky, but
Right.
we do a lot of it every year because people insist. So, so yeah, we don't.
And you
we don't-
really can't tell the difference.
right.
You know, like almost like stamped concrete. You can make it look like marble if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, and we
Or
do
granite.
Yeah, we've gotten into concrete in the last few years and all that kind of stuff. So ultimately, as a landscape company, you want to be the people's one-stop shop.
Right.
You know, so you plow their snow in the winter, you mow their grass, and you fertilize it, keep the weeds down, take care of the garden beds, pour a concrete driveway if they need it. And
So you do. Some people are just so lazy they won't even pull their own weeds.
oh gosh, yes. Are you kidding me?
Gosh, yes. Have you
That's-
seen the houses? you make
Maybe they're
people-
just busy.
That's my work.
Hey, listen. Katie's
People are
gonna be in
busy.
that boat.
Maybe we're
People are
just
busy.
We're gonna be at her house
Yeah,
next week.
right.
Now that she knows Best
Right.
Buds,
You
we're
should
gonna
see
be at
her
Katie's
house.
house next week.
It looks like Ober Gardens over there.
Come on.
It
Is that
does.
good?
Wow.
You got a cool spot.
I have a cool spot.
Who do you hire for your gardening, Katie? I gotta know now.
It's
She lives
not my home.
upstairs.
I live in the basement of
Okay.
Barbe McKittrick and Ron McKittrick, and they have a beautiful home. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Well,
wonderful.
you tell them about your new
I've
Best
been
Buds.
learning so much from them too. It's really neat to see, different flowers that are planted, shade flowers, sunflowers,
I know.
and there's a lot to know for sure. And I have this little gardening journal that Mike gave me, and I've been drawing pictures and taking notes. I'm interested. It's it's cool. It's beautiful and
Fascinating
fun to
stuff.
look at. And yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
My middle brother Zach's a master gardener, and I mean people think it's funny that the boys, supposed to be
Right.
macho, want to go out and plant flowers and cut flowers and play in the gardens, but it's fascinating. It's beautiful.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, to make a bouquet. Did I just say that out loud?
Yeah.
Or we're not on.
Oh
TV.
yeah. I'm like, yeah.
To make a bouquet, I mean, grab it like and I mean,
Right.
to design. This is cool.
Right.
It's
The
fantastic,
heights
right?
and different flowers and
Everything,
Right.
textures, colors, heights. And so I know what you're saying there. It's fun to play in. I guess I'm going to be playing in the Kittrick's garden next week.
Are
so
you? Okay.
yeah, I just got to Google them, find out where they live. I head
Google
over there
them.
after this.
right.
Google them.
Secret.
Yeah. It's a hideaway.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, it's beautiful out there.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then it
They're doing a
overlooks
great
like
job.
the lake.
yeah.
and
Fun stuff.
It's up on the hill.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But so it must be nice like to drive through Maple Bluff and see your work all the time.
It's awesome. Yeah,
know,
it's
like-
Rewarding, I'm sure.
really rewarding.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I really can't describe it. It's one of those things that we've had such a stronghold in our own neighborhood for so long.
Right.
And we've seen other companies come and go. There's always going to be the competition in there, right? But you can't control that. So you keep
Right.
doing whatever you can do, which is treat people how you want to be treated and be honest.
Right.
And
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
you're gonna keep that stronghold in your own neighborhood. And when they see the blue truck coming, everybody smiles and waves. All of our guys, I mean, we try to live up to the name of Best Buds to the fullest. So we see moms out walking the dogs and kids playing at the Maple Bluff Beach, and we're smiling and waving at everybody because
Well, it's your neighborhood.
we've got a great
Sense of
job.
community and,
Right.
It's a great
you know each
community.
other, yeah.
And those
We're
old ladies,
working
you must like
outside.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, there go those Davenport boys.
Yeah. Nobody. Everybody's like, cut that hair, hippie.
Hippie.
Oh, that hurts.
Bring down my property value. Even though you put in that stone patio.
Cut the hair. Killing me. So, yeah, it's really gratifying going through your own neighborhood. And we try to treat everybody the way we want to be treated.
Right.
But in your own neighborhood, it's like, it's even accentuated because you're like, these are my people. I come home to this.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I drive by these guys when they're coming and going from the neighborhood. I'm driving by these people. I kind of got to do a good job and keep things together.
People respect that, and that helps, your company grow and
When I can,
Absolutely.
Me personally, like if I see somebody that is in need or whatever, I mean, there must be like a neighbor or, some elderly woman that lives in your neighborhood, and you're like, oh, and you see her house, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Do you just kind of go over there like, here, why don't you let me help fix this up real quick, like.
We don't do a lot of pro bono work, but I will say this. Yes, there's a sense of, with each client, not necessarily in Maple Bluff alone or because they're my neighbor, but when you show up to certain people's houses and they have a need, and you're kind of going, okay, well,
how can I help this
she's
person?
on a fixed income and we can't necessarily do this or that for them, but we can make this functional and do something really fantastic for them. We certainly try to do that. Yeah.
Well, because you're the boss.
Yeah, and I can swing numbers. Yeah.
And he's a good person.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, thank you for that. I was going to blow my own horn, but
I'm a really good person.
I'm totally playing. But yeah, we really do. We try to treat people how we want to be treated, and you think about your own parents, your own grandparents, and how would they feel in the situation, and help everybody keep moving forward.
I think that's what you really have to do. Everybody has to because when you go down south, everybody's just rude. And everybody, when they come up here, everybody's like, wow, everybody is so friendly up here.
Isn't it amazing?
And I was just up in Elkhart yesterday, and I was at this little ice cream shop, and there were these two kids, I think they were up from Chicago, and I used them as props. In this picture, I'm like, pointing at the candy like you're like at Willy Wonka's, store, and they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, look, they're like, oh, that's cool, And I think the
Only
lady
in the
that
Midwest,
owns the place,
only in Wisconsin.
And they were like, bye, have a nice day. They're like, yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Nobody ever talks to us in Chicago unless they want to, want money.
Yeah.
You're talking to the wrong people.
Right. Yeah, you stay in
great.
private school.
And that kind of personality and soft-heartedness should permeate into kind of all of our lives, but both at work and shopping center, whatever. Let's be honest.
Right.
So back to your family home. Do all three of your do you guys all three live together still?
My youngest brother just got married two Januaries ago, so a year and a half now. So he got married.
Was he like, leave my room just in case?
Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm not sure about this whole thing. You know what I mean? No, I'm just
don't turn it into anything. Don't knock the walls off.
I still fluff his pillow every morning, just hoping he's coming back. You know what I mean? No, I'm
just knocking on it. Hey, it's time to get up. Oh, he's not in there.
No, he married a super cool chick. She fits in really well around our place, and so he moved out. And they bought a place that will build and landscape at some point, but but otherwise it's my youngest brother and I, and my cousin, who is one of our full-time mechanics, lives with us as well. So we got the bachelor pad over in Maple Bluff right now.
I guess.
Yeah, wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
How do you spot it, or is there a sign?
Again, it's a secret. You'll know. You'll just know.
Right. You drive by, you'll know.
It'll be the the guy house that shouldn't have all those flowers out front.
Right.
It's got all those flowers out front.
Really?
What? 4 guys live there? Come
really?
on.
What do they do?
That has to be intriguing, though, I think, for a woman.
Yeah,
That's
wow.
cool.
Sweet.
4 guys?
Yeah.
Right?
And no doubt, I mean, at any time you go out and meet somebody, you can bring them flowers.
Yes.
Just rip them right out of there.
Yes. My brother, the master gardener, who is fantastic at what he does and has run the gardening division for a long time, will go to our regular gardening clients' houses, and when he's there, he'll buy cheap vases and he'll cut flowers from their own place, and leave it on their front doorstep. So when these ladies get home, they've got a fresh bouquet. And this is like
That's
stuff
awesome.
that we
and
grew.
they love that.
Love it.
Yeah.
Super simple, but they love it.
If people just knew the little things that make people happy, life would be so much easier.
Yeah.
I mean, women just love that stuff.
Yeah, it's simple, thoughtful stuff.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you go to the gas station and you're buying yourself a Snickers, well, get me one. I like Snickers.
Right. And it's gonna cost you an extra 78 cents.
Right. And I'm gonna be happy for the day. Munching on my Snickers.
Unless they're taxing you more. Like yesterday.
My brothers have that thoughtfulness. I'm hoping that rubs off on me a little bit. You know what I mean?
I'm sure you have
still
it
working on it.
Who cares? As long as you got a job.
Are you the oldest?
I'm the oldest boy.
Oh.
My
Well,
sister's older than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
My mom and dad were great role models. We got nothing to complain about, you know. Grew up really nice.
That's wonderful.
Very thankful.
Well, yeah, they left you the house.
Left us the house, right? What can I say? I mean, does it get any sweeter than that?
My
I don't think
parents
they're
are
leaving.
great.
I think we should
Yeah.
go.
I know. Let's go over there.
That's special,
She can
though.
sing.
You
She
know,
can
being
sing
there
at
your
your
whole
bachelor
life,
party.
that really is
Yeah.
home to you. And
Yeah.
Right. You don't even.
I miss my old house.
Do
I
you?
wish I could go back.
We should go back. In where? Fort Atkinson?
Yeah.
You know, I kind of liked. I didn't mind living at home either when I lived with my mom, and because there was food,
Yeah.
toilet paper on the roll.
The neighbor kids.
I had a light switch. The light went on.
I know.
Right.
You know, and stuff was just
Yeah.
done.
Parents
Like
are
behind
good
the
to us.
scenes, you know, like.
Just
Oh,
Yeah.
Mike's coming stat, get the wash done. You know, like,
I know.
oh,
Yeah.
he's going to
He's
want
got
this
soccer
shirt, I know
tomorrow.
it. Yeah, like, oh, he must be down to his last pair of jeans. you know,
Mike
uh.
likes popsicles. Get him those orange ones. He's coming
Right.
to town.
Sherbet.
My grandmother was
Why
like
do parents
that.
treat us so
Sherbetsicles?
good? Yes. Yeah, you love the sherbet ones?
Yeah.
This is
Really?
totally
This
different.
is good to know. Like, we
Right.
got to keep this in mind for
Sherbet?
for our new Catester over here.
Right.
Sherbet popsicles.
I'll be the
Orange,
watering
raspberry.
queen for Best Buds.
just
I
sherbet
just water.
popsicles. and
I'm
just
the watering
away.
girl.
How many more people? We pick up so many clients, Michael, with Katie on staff at Best Buds.
Right.
I mean,
Just
cute
have
as
her
she
ride the
is, you
truck.
know what I mean? Out there singing in people's yards,
Right.
gardens, with the sherbet popsicle in her hand.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is the bonus package.
Water.
yeah, you pay extra for this one.
Yeah.
Listen.
She doesn't even water. She just watches them water.
Right, that's it. You know what I mean?
You guys are silly.
She just walks around and
That'd
checks
be
on all the way.
fantastic. We got to talk after the segment. Here.
like,
we're,
how's-
gonna, we're gonna be good friends.
This looks beautiful.
will,
Come out here and
yeah.
look at it with me while I sing you a song.
Oh,
I
man.
could. But what was I going to ask you? Oh, you guys also have a greenhouse?
Correct. Our greenhouse is not our bread and butter. The way we started the greenhouse was,
You
as our
needed
landscape
plants?
company was growing. I'm sorry.
You needed plants.
Yeah. As our greenhouse, as our landscape company
Right.
was growing, you can't afford to run to Jung's Every Day or the Bruce Company or Toddle Inn and McFarland.
Right.
Plugs for all you guys.
Yeah.
Show me the money, baby. Those are plugs for a lot of people right
Don't
there.
forget Casey Davenport.
Free
Best
plugs
buds.
for your best buds right there, and they all know
Right.
us when we walk in with the blue. Anyway, don't forget your best buds.
Best buds.
So you can't afford to run and do the shopping every day, and so we started ordering wholesale plants from Illinois nurseries and Michigan
Oh.
and Oregon, and so we get all of our stuff from wholesalers now, so that we can, one, get a better deal, two,
Right.
have it on hand. So our family came
And
up
give a
with
better deal.
Yeah,
Is it all
and
just
give-
in-house, like you just use those for the landscaping, or can people actually come to the greenhouse and purchase?
That's a good question. See, so we started keeping this stuff in stock, and our family was like, you know what, we got the stuff here. If people drive by and want to buy it,
Yeah.
let's put a gate in up here
Right.
and let them come in the
Yeah.
top gate.
Do like all 6 of you or 7 of you all get together like for dinner?
Yeah, like Friday night, we do big family
night.
dinners.
I wanna go.
Still love
That
it.
sounds fun.
We should probably have
You guys are like the new age farmers.
Yeah, we're very fortunate, very thankful. Yeah, I mean, everybody asks all the time,
Right.
how does your family get along? Money and business break up a lot of families. Those two
That's
things.
very true.
Right.
And I tell people, well, you put God first,
Right.
and then family second, and the money always works itself out somewhere at like a distant third or whatever. You know what I mean? But when you put God and family first, that's the most important thing. So money's gonna come and go. You know,
Yeah.
what I
Well,
mean?
right.
It doesn't.
Money's
Money's
relevant.
paper.
It's just gonna, yeah.
The more you have, the more you spend.
Tell me
More
about
money,
it.
more problems.
More money, more. Can you make that into a song? I think somebody.
I think
there
that
might
is
be
a
a
song.
couple- There might be a couple variations on that already, but I think you may be
Yeah.
onto something better there.
I'm coming out.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry to answer your question. Yes.
Okay.
Keeping stuff in stock, we let the public come in and purchase it if we want. Our place always looks like our nursery always looks like it's under construction because it's more for us than it is for anybody else.
Right.
But we still have a super great loyal crowd that comes out every season, buys their flowers from us, buys their hanging baskets from us.
That's because
And
I just want
always-
to see you boys running around in your shorts.
Shorts and no shirt. Yeah, we're some of the few people
Is
left.
this public
Right.
television?
Yeah. Well,
I'm not kidding though. We do
I
have
think you're like that Harlequin romance novel character.
the landscapers in the.
That would be a good
Yeah.
commercial.
Here's my
Yeah.
the Harlequin romance novel landscaper,
Yeah, that's funny.
Casey Davenport.
Have you
We
come
have
in
had
on a
people
big
comment
Steve?
on it. both good and bad. People think it's unprofessional that our guys work with no shirts on and our girls work with tank tops and stuff. But I tell people, guys have been working in the fields for, I don't know, a little over 100 years now with no shirts on. So I'm not going to recreate the wheel now, you know.
Right.
Guys can wear their fancy uniforms and get those dirty and stained, but the reality is that everybody wants an even tan. So so our boys work with blue shorts on, so you know who they are. The blue trucks are parked out front.
Who they are.
And everybody's got matching uniforms. That's the name of the game.
That's awesome.
Scandal.
I'm gonna come.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny.
I know, but you should just let us know where you guys are running around sometime.
Yeah. Well, we should start posting a blog. Hey,
right.
The Best Buds has a crew over on the north side today. We got one on the far west side.
And it's super hot out.
Super hot out. Guys will be dripping with sweat. Yes. So, and the
Bring
tans
lemonade.
are nice. It's about mid-July, so the tans are full. Right.
Always
We're
appreciate.
looking good. Looking good.
No sunscreen, just bring bottled water.
The crew is in full effect. So.
So, well, that went quick.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Casey, for coming in. And
Thanks for having us.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet both of you guys. Yeah,
we'll
great.
put your website up there. Do you know what? Are you on Facebook?
I will say one more thing before you let me off the air.
Okay.
Our website sucks.
Oh,
we
okay.
don't take many before and afters. The only reason we ever got a website 8 years ago is because people were having a hard time finding us.
Okay.
When their friends would tell them about us, we don't advertise at all.
Right.
So their friends would tell them about us, and they'd go, I looked you up in the phone book, I looked
Couldn't
everywhere
find
and
you.
couldn't find you. So we put a quickie website up there. You can see it for our phone number. Call,
Right.
my sister will answer the phone, get you in the right direction. I'll come over to your house and give you a bid,
Or
and
you-
we'll go from there.
Or you could just drive through Maple Bluff and knock on any other doors. I'm sure they know.
Knock
you.
on any doors or on
Get a
any
hold of-
given day.
Get a hold of
Yes.
those Davenport boys. Or
Yes.
anybody running with their shirt off in Maple Bluff
Yes.
is probably them.
Anybody with a shirt off, with blue shorts on, and a blue truck, you can't miss them. So this is fantastic.
It's one of our consultants.
Yeah, yeah. So that's one sure way to find us right there. Track down a blue truck somewhere.
Wonderful.
Awesome. Oh, awesome. Great.
Cool.
Okay, and Katie, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah,
and hanging
thanks for
out.
having me.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it was awesome. You'll have to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Make good decisions.
Thanks for having me.
Baby got that look in her eye. Baby wanna play outside. Heartbeat on her sleeve. She got style and make. She's a beauty queen. She's the colors of the rainbow. Beneath the city lights, looking fly, stunning shapes in a shimmering earth. Girls from the avenue, and all the boys say, ooh la la, do. Hey lady, I do what you do. Pretty lady, I do what you do.
And now for the second half of the show, Barbie is going to show us some interesting things about picture mounting. And I'm kind of excited because I think a lot of people, when you're out there and you want to place pictures on your walls, you really don't know exactly how to do it or when to do it or how they should hang, or if you hang them to your height or your weight, or I have no idea, or the window. Or so Barbie's going to fill us in on that and run away with it. Barbie, here's the ball.
Good morning. Today we are going to look at putting pictures on the wall and putting pictures in proportion to the size of the wall so that they look proper when you look at them. Many times I go into someone's home and I see that there's a great big wall and a small picture, and I just want to go over there and say, if you just did this, look how great this would look. So I
Do you?
decided, pardon me?
Do you?
Sometimes if they're my close friends, then I actually do say, can I show you something?
Can I just rip this off your wall?
So anyway, and when I do it, they go, oh, that was so simple and so easy. So today we're going to do that. When you have a number of pictures in your home and you want to do something different with how they are laid out in the room, or you have a collage of pictures and you're not quite sure how to put them up on the wall, a really simple and fun way to do it is to take and trace them on pieces of any kind of paper. I just use brown paper bags here. You can make little pictures, you know, so that you can see kind of the size of the frames that were on them. You can label them and put Grandpa and Grandma if that was a portrait. Okay, and then you can start laying them out on the floor or on a table. So what we're going to do here is I have a board set up and I have thumbtacks over here, and we're just going to start. And let's say this was a vertical picture, and we're going to put that one up there. And then we have this picture, and we're going to put this here. And we have this picture, and we're going to put this one, let's put this one right here. And we have Grandpa and Grandma, and we're going to do Grandpa and Grandma over, well, actually, let's say we have a larger picture, and we want a larger picture on here. So let's do our larger picture over here. All right.
So are you just putting them up there right now and then rearranging them?
I'm just going to start by laying out the pictures that I have, and then we will kind of go from there. All right, so we'll start by looking at this. And actually, here's what happens when I go into some people's homes, are that they have their pictures up on the wall like so. And they're trying to cover a large space on the wall. But when you look at this, your eyes don't know what picture to look at, and it's not in proportion to the size of the wall. They're all kind of like scattered and sort of in space. So by bringing these together, it makes one larger picture, which is then in proportion to the large wall. So by putting these together like so.
Well, you know what I have actually learned in my design program is that, you know, I mean, like what you're talking about there is like create a focal point. So what
Exactly.
you're doing is creating a focal
That's
point with
exactly
your
what we're
pictures.
doing.
So, like, do you suggest buying one of these boards, or would you be doing this on your dining room table? to
I would
place
do
your
this on my
pictures, or
dining room table or on the carpet, on the floor. Just
like the same width as the side of the wall, or the wall?
not necessarily, just a space large enough to take the pictures that you have and make a layout. So you can see from looking at this right now, it's a little bit heavy on the left. So we're going to put a picture over here.
You know, last semester I had to do foam core boards, you know, presentation boards, you know, with like my samples of like flooring and carpet and tile and all that. And it's pretty much like the same premise.
All right. These don't have to have matching frames. They can all be very different. One thing that I like is I like if there is a common element. I like if they have, for instance, all white mats, or if it had all black frames, or if it was in black and white, so that there would be something that would tie them together, but they certainly don't have to at all. It can be as eclectic as you want. It can be contemporary and traditional mixed together. The other part about picture layout is that so many times what we want is we want to add family photography into pictures on our wall, and they just look like you plopped a photograph on the wall. So what I would like to talk about today is how to take portraiture, portrait photography, and work it into art so that it becomes part of the room design, and it looks appropriate. So it doesn't just look
Right.
like somebody put a picture over here on the wall. And that's almost what I have done here.
Like a graduation picture.
So for instance, if this were a graduation picture,
Because those always look weird.
here, watch this. If I put a large mat in here and I put a small picture in here, all of a sudden this looks like an actual matted and framed piece of artwork. It does not look like a portrait, and yet I can have a portrait in here if I want one, and it still looks good. I can mix it with other pictures. One thing that makes a mixture of pictures look really good is a combination of up close and far away. You wouldn't want to have pictures of all up close facial pictures, but if you have one that's up close, one that's far away, you know, and here you got your little basket of flowers or whatever. So you can do a combination of those things. One thing that makes when you take portrait photography and put it on the wall, which turns it into kind of a magic piece of art, is when you frame and mat them and have the photographs small and the mats and the frames large. It makes it look like artwork and not photography. So it's a good way to keep those photographs in the room. Now, you can still have those photographs great big, but they need a mat rather than just a picture.
So would that be an example of matting?
This is
a photograph?
exactly why I brought this. So
Oh.
this is a frame that I bought for very inexpensive, but I bought it to actually put a portrait into it because it works and it works well and it will
Right.
look good on the wall.
So like if it was the graduation picture, then you would just like, I mean, make the viewing hole bigger, right?
I would, if this was a graduation picture, I would get a much bigger frame so that it had an opening in here of this size, but I would want my actual picture to just be this size. So
okay.
I would want the whole picture frame to be much larger.
Oh. So did you make that yourself?
Nope. Nope, bought it.
But it doesn't look like it'd be that hard to make, actually.
No, probably wouldn't.
Just get some foam core and whatever.
So we're going to take these down because here we've kind of practiced with what you have. I'm just going to kind of lay out one that doesn't look very good so that you can see the difference if I space them too far apart. And we'll do that again, just exactly with the same thing that we just did. And this is what I see a lot of times when I go into someone's home, is that they're trying to fill up the wall and they're trying to do that ratio of covering basically a third of the wall with this picture, but they're too far apart. So move them closer together and that makes it work.
So when you're hanging your pictures on your wall, do you decide like how high you want them immediately?
When you are hanging pictures on a wall, you want them to be centered. There's between 60 and 63 inches. So
like
about 5
5
feet,
feet.
about 5 feet high. If you are tall, you're probably going to want your pictures taller on the wall or higher on the wall. If you are smaller, you probably want them to be lower.
Right.
I put a lot of my artwork actually quite low on the wall. I'll hang it down low, so it's actually below here. If it goes
Right.
down a wall and it looks right, you can practice and see. You'll know when it doesn't look right.
Because I noticed that in one of your bathrooms.
Did I put pictures very low?
Yeah, the one in the downstairs bathroom.
Did I? I don't remember.
Yeah, they're right next
Okay.
to the toilet. They're
All right.
huge. They're huge pictures, like this size.
Oh, so here are more. And I brought these to show you the magic of matting, because I kind of touched on matting. But here, if we were to put portrait photography in here, now see how close I'm putting these pictures together so that it looks like one piece. And here I have kind of tied together the fact that they are black and white. And also the fact that I had black and white paper at home. All right, if this were a vertical wall, I could make them vertical, like so. And don't be afraid to experiment. You'll know if it's wrong. So that would be perfectly fine. You could add more. Where would I like that? You could put this one over here.
So what do you do if like you're limited on pictures? Go buy more?
If you're limited on pictures and you want the picture up on the wall, a large frame and a large mat. You know, a small picture with a great big mat works
Right.
really nice. A very ornamental frame, a frame with several different colors of mat. Sometimes you can have a large inset mat and then a secondary large inset mat.
Right.
That makes it work.
Okay.
So here's another thought. Just keep experimenting, but do notice that now if I were to move these apart, it lost its magic. It just does not do that good use of space by tying them together. There are some unique things that you can do, and this is one that I've been wanting to do for a long time, so we're gonna play with this one. If you have a long haul, and I've seen this done in pictures, and I have little marks set up here, so I'm gonna just show you this. But make a mark on the wall, a long piece of tape that comes up, and then we're gonna do this.
So that'll be the center line of your wall, like where you want to start hanging?
So then this is what we're gonna do. This is fun. We're gonna come up here about so far above here, above our tape line, and we're gonna make a line of pictures. And we're gonna go all the way down our big long hallway. And we're gonna keep the bottom of these all parallel. Let me put a different size there.
So with hanging pictures, do you pretty much want to have like equal spacing and at least one straight line where all the frames go along?
You don't have to, but there are some unique things that you can do with lines. For instance, this is what I'm doing here. So I'll just, after I'm done with this one, I will show you another unique thing that we can do with just lines. So here, we move that one up.
So this would be nice for a long hallway.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Because then it takes your eye along the hallway with you, right?
Mm-hmm. This one. I have always wanted to do this at home, and I don't have a long hallway, but I might do it in a back bedroom. All right.
Because I know you do photography, don't you?
Mm-hmm. And I was going to put some portraits in here just to kind of show you how it would be if we did do that.
Right.
But I didn't get to it.
So.
All right, so then if we take this down, whoops, then you can see how this would look along a long hall. And this is using kind of this negative space to give us a linear look. And it looks quite cool.
Right, yeah, it looks excellent. So then, based again exactly on like how tall you are, how tall your family is how high you would hang your pictures, right?
Yes. So if I'm 5 feet tall,
right,
you would want your pictures to be up here so that they would be centered at about 5 feet tall. So see if I'm 5 feet tall, that this would be the center. So I'm gonna not put these quite in the same way. We'll put these a little bit different.
Yeah, I like that idea about the hallway because, I mean, I've been in people's hallways, you know, where you're walking down and if the pictures are all kind of scattered, you have to go up and down to look at all of them. But I mean, if you can just walk in a straight line and just look at them.
So here would be kind of the focal point, and you could go up a little bit higher if you wanted to.
Right.
I'm short, I tend to like my artwork low.
Right.
So there, now we're gonna play with another idea. And this is always good. This is a classic.
So I noticed like a lot of people like to use like one large picture in the middle and then build around it.
You can, yes.
I mean, that's not a standard, is it? Or is that just like what everybody's used to?
I think that when you start with a large picture, it's always wise to just start with your largest picture so that
Right.
therefore you can build on that and kind of build outward, and it makes your focal point have a center to it.
Right.
So I get that, because otherwise if you start with small pictures and then all of a sudden you've got a big picture out at the end, it's kind of lopsided, so you don't really want to do that. This
You know, like with a lot of the houses nowadays, you know, talking about this tape and stuff, and I'll ask you like after you show this.
No, go ahead, ask me.
But you know how everybody has like vaulted ceilings or slanted roofs or, you know, like where like your wall line comes down at an angle? I mean, I think that would be a good idea with like the tape, like to do that and then
Absolutely.
usually corner it so it stacks down like a stairs or something. Because I think a lot of people just don't know how exactly like how would you hang pictures on, you know, because it looks like a block and then the line of the wall is on a diagonal.
We could actually play with that. All right, but here what I wanted to show you is that these need to be maybe not quite this close together, but when you do a collection like this, they need to be close together.
When they're all the same size.
When they're all the same, so that it looks like one large picture rather than a number of small pictures. So as opposed, so let's say over here, I'm just going to do this one so that this is what I would not want to see.
Could you do me a photograph like that?
In what do you mean?
You know, and like cut it up, you know, like where like Andy Warhol would have a picture of Marilyn Monroe where it's like this is like, you know, it's her, but it's all cut up into 4, and then you hang it up in 4, or a black and white.
Yes, I could.
Of me.
Of you? Of course I could.
I was going to say somebody else, but then, gosh, it's on air, so I don't.
All right, so
It's forever.
here is, and this is going to be a little off center, but you're going to get the idea of why the close looks better. So here is what I see many times, is where they put the pictures far apart, and when you stand back and you look at that, you don't know what picture to look at. Your eyes don't know where to look. Your eyes are kind of going like this, where this one, they're going together.
Right.
All right, so.
So that the other one over there would work if you have a slow eye.
Oh, you are way too funny.
Just
You
saying.
are way too funny. All
Well,
right.
some people do.
Yes. Actually, I have a slow eye. And I wore glasses when I was 18 months old, and I wore a patch on my eye when I was a little girl.
Oh, just strengthen it up? Or the other one, or whatever?
So I was never good at catching the ball because I have very poor depth perception, but I was great at shooting because I only use one eye.
Do you shoot ski?
No, I shoot sparrows
Sparrows.
and starlings. Okay, so, all right.
That's funny.
So there would be a picture that would be in proportion to the size of a relatively large wall. So it would basically be the same as if you had a 36 by 36 inch picture on the wall. So that's how you would want to
Right.
do this. So you can also then have fun with,
So it's kind of like creating your own collage, huge portrait.
see, now that would not work. But you need to stay with that. I was going to see if this would have been that same size, you could have done something like that. I've also seen where they've done this, where they have taken and put foam core, like a foam core board, so that it becomes 3-dimensional, and
Oh,
then
right.
this will be framed and matted on the outside, and then you can overlap your pictures like so on a wall, and that's kind of attractive too.
I mean, I suppose you would know, but like sometimes you can just have too much, can't you?
Yes. So that would be the other thing too, is that if you did this, this would be a great way to display old black and white photographs.
Oh, right.
Because then it would be all black and white and gray. The fact that it's tied together with the black and the white, though, if you had colored photographs in there, it would be okay because it's all tied together with the wider mats and the wider frames.
Oh.
So that makes it work also.
Yeah, I think that style would work like if you're doing something like through history, you know, like like your grandparents and then when they were younger, us when we were younger, wedding pictures, you know, and just convert them all and the children growing up.
We're
You
gonna
know, like where it tells a story. Do you ever do anything like, you know, like where I stay at a lot of Marriotts and they have these beautiful painting or beautiful, like they paint a, you know, a tree on the wall and it looks like it's all shadowed. It almost looks like wallpaper. But it's a painting or it might be wallpaper, I don't know. But I mean, you know, some people like paint their family tree on the wall and then put portraits on. Do you believe in any of that? Like incorporating like a paint job with your portraits?
You know, that reminds me of this. My mother, I've talked about my mother in almost every show. That's
And what was
too
her
funny.
name again?
Her name is Betty. When she used to do juried art shows,
What's a juried art show?
a juried art show is that when you want to be an exhibitor in an art fair or an art show, that you have to be juried in order to get into the show. So in other words, your artwork, you have to send it in to be juried, and they have to evaluate it and say yes or no, you make the show or you don't make the show.
Oh.
So the restrictions on her as a photographer were that her mats had to be a certain color and her frames had to be a certain size and all of that kind of thing. However, that said, we're going to do one if we were going down the stairs now.
Oh, okay.
So this is all of the family pictures going up and down the stairway. So that said, art is what you want it to be, and there are guidelines, but it's as creative and as unique and as different as anybody who makes it. The one thing that I think I guess the point that I'm trying to make here today is that you need to look at it on the wall and evaluate how it's going to be on the wall so that it enhances the room rather than looking like a small picture just out of nowhere that's very out of place.
So, well, I'm curious. What did your mother do to think outside the box when she was just giving
Well,
those two parameters?
At the time, it was quite popular to have, if she was doing pictures of, for instance,
Didn't she do
castles.
flowers or?
She did castles or flowers. She did a lot. But for instance, if she did a picture of a castle in Germany, I remember the Neuschwanstein, I think that's the name of it, that castle in Germany. And she had this, and it was kind of in winter, and she had this soft gray mat on it, and that was juried out. In other words, she was not allowed to do that. So she had to put the white mat on it, which it just didn't make it wonderful.
Right.
So in order to be in a juried show, you had to do it the way that it had to be done. But at home, I wanted that gray mat on there. It was stunning. It
Right.
just pulled out all of the magic of the foggy day in that picture. So,
You know, I find that sometimes, like in the classes I'm in the interior design program, like I think because it's not within the parameters of the box. You know, because I completely think outside the box that it's not viewed well, maybe sometimes. You know, where I think, you know, anything like this, artwork, photography, interior design, I mean, flower beds, I mean, anything that you do that comes from you is creative. And I think you should be able to do it any way you want to. You know, like, there shouldn't be a judge on creativity.
there should not. And that was kind of my point too. All right, so here we go. We're getting outside of our box, but you kind
Well,
of get
that's how we roll.
you kind of get where I'm going with this. So I started with my big ones, and then I built on them to sort of follow the pattern that would be going down the staircase.
That
Now,
was great.
the staircase looks like it's got wide steps, but you get the idea.
Okay.
All
Do you
right.
want to start?
So,
We have 5.
all right, now I'm going to show you my tip,
Oh,
because I brought a really good picture hanging tip today. So we will take these down, and it is this. When you want to hang a picture on the wall, and it has, either on the back, it either has the wire,
Yep.
and the wire only comes up to say here on your picture, or it has, and I have this upside down, or it has the little metal jagged bracket, and you don't know where that is on the back of this frame, for instance, or you don't know how high up that wire actually is.
Right.
So but you know you want your picture right there. So how do you mark on the wall where you want that, where you
Nail.
actually want to put that nail in the wall? So
How do you do that, Barbie?
this is how you do it. You take a little flat piece of wood. I just happen to use a paint stick here, and you put a nail in it, and you put the nail so that the nail sticks out the other side at a diagonal. And then what you do is, and I wish this would have had a wire on it, but it doesn't. It has just a little metal bracket, but we're going to use that. Then you put your picture on this bracket, and this would just, I could push this in, but you hold this up on the wall where you want it, and you push it in. What I would have done also, though, is, where's my little, for women that don't have a mallet around, but you've got a cloth and you've got a hammer, you could tack it softly into the wall so that it leaves a mark, and then you know exactly where to put your nail.
Oh.
So, just a really easy tip. One of the programs that we're going to do one of these days soon is that I'm going to bring in all of the different ways to hang pictures on drywall. So we're going to look at the different types of mollies and the different types of hanging tools that you can use, and the different kinds of little hooks that you would put into the wall, and we'll kind of evaluate them all and talk about which kind goes better with what pictures.
Awesome. I like that idea. Wow, that's awesome.
So
what do you have in store for us next time?
what we're going to do is we are going to segue into that. When I made these, it was like, well, now that I've made all of these, what am I going to do with these?
Right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put these in a little girl's bedroom.
Oh.
And we are going to do some neat things with color books
Okay.
and ribbons.
Well, great.
All right.
Well, thank you, and I hope you got some helpful tips out of that. I know I did. And tune in next time. And thanks for tuning in to the Home Extension. Make sure to watch, spread the word, and make good choices. Thanks.